What is up, RetroManiacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I like to hit the add 30 seconds button until I get to my desired time. You know, as card collectors, we're sometimes shunned by society at large. They'll call us nerds. Maybe they'll call us geeks. They'll say, you like to collect pieces of cardboard with little pictures of men on them. You know, some even say that you must live in your mom's basement. Well, down here, it's our time. It's our time down here. And I'm joined by these two Goonies, Joe Day and EPR Kahalik. How you doing, guys?
Love it.
Awesome. Is that a Goonies reference?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Do you not? Oh yeah.
We've had this discussion. Since then, I have not watched the Goonies. So
wait. We've already had the discussion, and you still haven't. The other discussion was Gremlins, not the Goonies.
Oh, was there? Was there?
Gremlins. We never talked about. I don't think we talked about the Goonies.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever seen the Goonies either.
Oh man,
I think I saw like
it is
half of it. Is it as good as Thor: Love and Thunder? That's the question.
I mean, it's way better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
So it must be the greatest movie ever made ever. If it's that good, I'll check it out. I'll have to check it out.
I watched it this weekend in case
Thanos is in it, right?
Yeah,
Thanos is in it.
Snaps his fingers, and the Goonies just all fall dead.
No, but the actor who plays Thanos is in it, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what you're going for.
Okay. Yeah. And then Sean Astin, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
You're a fan of Stranger Things, right?
The guy who that's in the basement in Loki, I forget the actor's name. Dead air. But anyway, how you doing, boy?
I'm thinking. I'm trying to think. You can't throw something out there.
You guys talk. I'll look up his name.
No, I mean the dude who plays I can't think of his name either in the movie that I can't remember either.
You're super helpful.
Everything everywhere all at once. The guy who is like the superhero.
Oh,
he's in
yes.
that. Yes. He's in that. Like
he plays the guy who the thing that eats its tail. What's it called? What's his name on Loki?
Okay. Anyway.
No, what's the character's name on Loki?
Cinema.
What's the character's name on Loki?
I'm not sure.
Let's just move on with the podcast because this is getting bogged down right now. And I apologize to everybody that we can't get past this one little bit of the show. How's it going?
This is the card shop.
This is us.
This is the card shop in a nutshell, by the way.
Two of us need to talk while the other one looks stuff up is how professionals would do this. So clearly we are not professionals.
Obi.
Yeah, you see, it really wasn't worth all the effort you put into it.
I put into it. A, you started it, and B, you put effort into it too.
You started with the actors, so really, you started it. Oh, so-and-so was in this and that just led to everything else. This is how it works around here. Joe, he is the instigator of everything.
You're welcome.
This is an amazing 80s movie. Like,
I guess.
Check it out. You gotta watch it.
No, just after that comment, I'm never going to watch it.
Oh, why do people watch this podcast? It's really the question. We know
this is what they watch it for,
right?
Not the actual card stuff. They could give two shits about that. Speaking of people who don't watch the podcast, I got a little letter from Rob Ingalls. He got a card. Yeah, he got a card at a card show. He asked me if I wanted it. And I said yes, because of course, sent a little note as well. So he'll never notice that I talk about this on the show because he doesn't. But I'm going to say thank you to Rob for sending me this very cool Kenny Pickett Portals card. Do you remember I wanted to get this a while ago and I just never got around to it? This is the green. I think it's the retail version. But you can see a Pitt uniform in the center. Steelers uniform then. But then it's green, so it's current team color match. I don't know, since he's an Eagle. But thank you, Rob. It's going out. That thank you is going out into the void because he'll never watch this and never know I said it. Don't tell him I said thank you, EP. And he sent a letter. Dear Joe, you have a much better podcast than I do. Thank you, Rob. I can't believe he wrote that. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yes,
I'm glad you edited out the part about the host of the show being much more handsome than him too.
Yeah. Obviously,
I mean, that would have just stoked my ego a little too much, and I would have hated for that to get out into the sports card realm. So,
and he admits in this card that he does not know how to pronounce Donruss, and he says
or
Powick. But joking aside, thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. Add it to the Kenny Pickett PC there. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's a little chilly in my room today.
It's hoodie season.
It is hoodie season. Look how nice this hoodie is. This is so damn comfortable, guys. I'm a hoodie snob, and this is really, really comfy. So I strongly recommend. This is a 3X. But it's roomy. Like,
you want to get room for a sweatshirt. Yeah. You don't want them to be tight.
Right. Exactly. So
if you're built like us.
Right.
Exactly. So if you guys are looking for a really comfy, roomy sweatshirt, down below.
With an awesome logo on it. With an amazing
logo.
Yeah.
Awesome logo. So yes, established in 2021. Isn't that crazy? We've been doing this for like 3 or 4 years now. At this point.
Closing in on 4. Yeah.
It's wild. It is absolutely wild.
Yeah, I would buy a hoodie myself, but I have this stupid ponytail back behind me and just doesn't work with a hoodie. But
no, it does
should make like a crew neck sweatshirt. Maybe I'd buy
maybe one of these days.
I'll have to talk to my guy and see if he can get that done.
Yeah, that technology is available, I believe. Yes.
I don't know. EP. Doing exciting.
I have a story about cards. Quickly, I sell cards on eBay, and I sold a Rashawn Salam Fleer Ultra insert card from his rookie year, 1995, I think. Does that sound right?
And you're still doing this podcast?
So listen, I sold it for $165, right? And the listing said gold medallion, but it wasn't a gold medallion. And so when the person got it, they immediately filed I want to return the card or whatever. And it was through Card Dealer Pro, and it said it was gold medallion. I didn't catch it, and they'll do that sometimes. And so he sends in the request for return in all caps. He's screaming, "I want my gold medallion! This is supposed to be a gold medallion." And then I got this while I was at work. And then like an hour later, he messages me, same thing. This should be a gold medallion. It's like all like it's not, the whole thing isn't all caps, but certain parts of it all caps. Like he's freaking out. I'm like, dude, it's a 25-cent card. Please relax. I didn't say that to him, but I'm like, please relax. I said, I'll check the inventory when I get home, but I'm pretty sure that's the only one that I have. I don't have both. And so then I sent the full refund, the $1.65 refund. But so that's the life of a low-end card seller, is people like freaking out about a $1.65 card that I probably would have made like 35 cents off of. Yeah. So.
Okay. I'm gonna put it out there, EP. Check your work.
It was on me.
Little shit here.
It was on me for sure, but like it's a quarter card.
But yes, put it in perspective, dude. Chill out. Yeah. Don't waste all that energy on capital letters. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
How do we not know that could be the only card he needed for the whole complete Fleer Ultra master set from year 1 to the last year?
I had it listed for $1.65 for a reason. There are plenty of them out there.
EP, but he wanted
chose you.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he doesn't choose it anymore, because I don't want to deal with it. So
I'm good. Actually, that's a really good point, Mike. EP, reach out to him. I'm sure you're in a good relationship with him now. Reach out to him, ask him if that's the case, and if so, get him on the pod. I'd love to talk to him about his complete master set of Fleer Ultra.
Even if not, just reach out and ask him if he'd like to come on the pod and talk about it. That'd
be fantastic content.
That would be.
I bet you he talks,
giving us your side of the story. Why not have him here so he can give his as well? That'd be great.
If he talks the way he types, though, put the volume down. It's going to be my suggestion.
I'll put it on automatic volume.
Yeah, probably.
And while you're at it, get the guy that wanted the PSA slab to make sure it did not have any imperfections whatsoever, no matter how minor. Bring him on too.
Yeah. Well, that person, they said that they might get back to me. After I said that, I said exactly what we talked about it in our text, and they said, "Oh, I believe you. It's fine. I just wanted to make sure I'm looking to buy this card over the next however many days. What's the best price you can give me?" And so it was one of those deals too. So
it turned into a what's your best? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So
You're
Respond
having
to him
on eBay.
Respond to him. What's your best?
but
What's the most you will give?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't work, but that'd be really good.
Sometimes
it wouldn't work,
makes
but it would
me
make
happy.
you feel better.
Yes.
Yeah, but there it is. It just makes you feel better.
Sometimes I'm glad I don't have anything really on eBay right now. So, although I've sold 2 cards yesterday that I've had listed for a while that over $100 in sales. So, yeah, I sold. Not only did I sell another Buffy the Vampire Slayer autograph, I also sold a Merlin Italian Undertaker PSA 8 I've had listed for 30 years now, I think. So, yeah.
I wonder why that Undertaker card sold just recently. So anyway, EP, are you going to join me in a drink?
Absolutely, yeah. It's Monday morning. Why not?
It is Monday morning. Why not make a Bloody Mary? I mean,
This is
Oh.
what I put up with.
I will say it's what makes the engine go, baby. I will say, I am in a great mood after Thursday night. Pitt went to 7-0, 3 pick sixes against former Ohio State quarterback Rob McCord. It was a great game against Syracuse. And you're probably wondering why I wasn't this excited on Friday when we were live, because the game was on Thursday, and on Friday when we do 3 cards live, I wasn't in this great of a mood because I was still hungover from the happiness. I was just like kind of groggy from the big win, the 41-13 win. So that's why the Thursday night game did not affect my mood on the Friday show.
Well, I
We did that one live.
did tell you to dial it down too.
You did.
It's 3 cards. It's not really as free form as this show.
We try to keep it moving along.
This show's a little too free form at sometimes. Like
sometimes,
the whole episode has been so far. But we try to keep to a schedule for Friday. So I did say, Joe, save it for the pod.
Can you believe we're almost to 1,500 subscribers? Somehow they want to watch us. Like what?
Wait, what? We are? I don't even look at the subscriber count. We are? That's awesome.
Well, holy cow. If you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 1,500. Get 3 after the beginning of the show. We're going to be down.
Yeah, we're going to be down.
Still, if you happen to be watching the show for whatever reason, and you're still watching and you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button for us. And all you people, hit that like button again, because a couple weeks ago I asked you to, and the likes went way up. And guess what? You guys are getting lazy and you're not hitting it. You're watching the content and you can't even just hit that dumb little button. Just hit the like button. Say, you know what? Thank you guys for being you. That's all we want. We don't want your money. We don't want your time. Well,
we'll take it. We'll take it.
The money too, or any cards you want to send us, or any kind of gifts whatsoever. Cars without the D, we'll take anything. I need a car right now. But if you're watching, hit that subscribe button. This might be the greatest podcast ever, or the worst.
So I watch these guys Silver Sport all the time. They open up ultra modern stuff, and the banter at the beginning of the show is like 15 minutes before they even open up the first pack. And there's always the joke, oh, we broke another record with a banter before we actually get to the heat of the meat, as it were. But they put it sometimes, depending on how long the banter is, they put it at the very middle of the screen. Click to minute 15, 12 to get to the actual rip. I almost feel like sometimes we should do that. Click to minute 10 to get to the actual news that we're going to talk about. This might be that week.
If people think the actual news we talk about is more entertaining than us just talking, I don't know why they're watching.
Yeah, right.
I stole this format from Jim Cornette, because the beginning of his podcast is anything and everything of what's going on in his day-to-day life and before he gets into stuff. And I kind of like that format. I feel like
I love corny.
We're not hiding anything from the viewers. We're not trying to be card guy on YouTube. We're us. So
Oh.
I feel like people want to hear the dumb stories and share their dumb stories. We want to hear them. That's what
And
we
hear us
want.
argue over the Goonies.
Absolutely. You
And
know,
Opie from Loki.
I'm kind of surprised they got away with the 30-second button thing. Nobody's brought that up. Are you guys on team add 30, or are you typing in 3 minutes and hitting start on the microwave?
Oh, that's a really good
That went
debate.
over your head, didn't it?
That did go over my head. The add 30, I'll tell you what, that's a good one. I think I do it more than I would think I do it. You know, it's just like, you know.
I have had 30 on mine. It went away. They got rid of it.
No. Some people think you're crazy. I heated up my coffee for 2 minutes. I've done it 2 or 3 times this morning.
You hit the button 4 times.
I hit the button 4 times. There are people out there though, and I'm guessing some of them are watching us right now that are like cringing at the fact that I hit the add 30 4 times instead of just hitting 2 minutes and start. So
that's the same number of button presses though, right?
Pretty much.
I mean, it's a thing. It is a real thing. People are passionate on both sides. I am firmly in the add 30 side. I am not in the 2 minutes. No, I'm not doing that.
I wasn't aware. I'm going to stake Switzerland. I'm going to stay in the middle. I'm not.
I will say there are good people on both sides, but my question is, how are you with the toilet paper? Are you an over or under?
Oh, it has to be over.
It has
to be over.
Yeah.
Like, who are these psychos? I've yet to meet someone who goes under.
Yeah.
Like, why? What are you doing? Yeah. Comment below if you're one of those dumb people.
Yeah.
Let us insult our viewers a little bit more before we get started.
Just a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, well, you know, if you've been watching me lose a lot of money ripping retail and you haven't seen this week's episode, it dropped yesterday. Go back and watch it. Not sports this time. I actually ripped Metal Avengers, which, let me just say, spoiler alert, may not have been a great idea. I don't know. Maybe it was. Watch the video and find out. But it's a fun rip. No matter, I feel like when you're ripping non-sports, we say this all the time, even if you're getting punched in the face, it feels better than if you're buying sports cars getting punched in the face. So had a lot of fun doing it. So check out that video. That I've been throwing some money out there for this series and taking some shots from people that, you know, act like they think I thought I could make money, which that wasn't the case. But yeah, I'll take them for the team though.
You didn't make like millions of dollars on this. That's why I thought you were doing it.
You know, sometimes you walk up to the slot machine and you got to lose a little bit of money before you hit the big jackpot. You know, when you're playing daily fantasy football, you're going to lose a bunch and then you're going to get that big win that'll make everything okay. So I'm just kind of treading water about 8 feet under the surface, just waiting for my big hit.
So what you're saying is you're due, right? Like you're due. Like
you're
going to hit here pretty soon.
Pulling that lever. Just keep pulling that lever, baby.
I mean, the odds are in my favor now, right? Like your odds go up when you lose before.
They do.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, if anybody is listening to or watching this podcast, let's get into it. We actually have stuff to talk about. Not as much fun as what we've been talking about, but you know, we could probably do an hour and 15 minutes of just this.
That's our live stream, basically, isn't it?
Except it's 3 or 4 hours. Yeah,
that's true. If we get to 1500, by the way, we have committed to doing a live stream, and I'm going to make another commitment. I'm going to do the live stream, the entire live stream, in my conspiracy helmet hat. If we hit 1500, okay. So everyone, prepare yourselves for that.
Wow.
So there's something to look forward to.
I'm creating 15 accounts later today to get this done.
I don't even know how you prepare for watching Joe wearing that hat for
3 hours. For 3 hours.
You gotta have a couple of these before you start watching.
Good point.
All right. Well, kicking things off, you know, I was talking about just waiting for my big hit to come up for the Rippin' Retail. Bet there are a lot of people out there that have been buying Topps Now cards that feel the same way, but Topps is giving them another chance. Yes. They announced, and I think it's actually over now by the time that you watch this video, but Topps are releasing a Topps now LeBron James and Bronny James dual card, kind of like a motion picture kind of, what is it, coming attractions or something like that type of card. But guess what? They have a one-of-one dual autograph in it that you can randomly get. These are priced the same way, the $11.99 if you buy one, down to $8.50 if you buy like 20 of them at a time. But again, they're pulling out ideas to make people buy them. Is this one going to sell more than Caitlin Clark, though? That's what I want to know.
Yes. Yes.
Do you think so?
I do.
Caitlin Clark was at the Panini Instant one. So
yeah. The reason I think it does is because I think Caitlin Clark and Panini will. We talked about this a little bit before we started recording. Uncharacteristically, I have not yet to watch any breaks of select WNBA. Usually, I'm like the guy who's constantly watching breaks. It's been a busy week, folks. So I haven't watched any, but I suspect a lot of autographs are going to come out of that. I suspect a lot of autographs are going to come out of pretty much all of their products with her in them. LeBron, though, doesn't have many autographs. We've talked about, kind of worried, though, that Fanatics may oversaturate the market with LeBron autographs. I think this is early enough that they're not as concerned that they might oversaturate it. So people are like, oh crap, it's a LeBron autograph. You have to go and buy Exquisite. You have to go and buy pretty much rookie year stuff from Upper Deck to get a LeBron auto. This is my chance to get one for the $11.99 lottery ticket. So I think it'll sell more because it's not just LeBron, but the whole father and son playing together in the NBA. I think this is the first time that's ever happened. So I think the uniqueness of this card might make it, go. I think it could be the highest one.
Do you think it'll go over the Ohtani card?
I think so. I could be completely wrong. I'm very curious how it shakes out, but I think the uniqueness of this card. Now, the one thing I will say is LeBron is a polarizing figure. So that might hurt a little bit, where I think everyone generally loves Ohtani, probably not as translator as much now. But LeBron is such a polarizing figure that it's possible that it doesn't. But just in general, I could see this one surpassing the Ohtani.
I disagree. I think it's not going to surpass either of those two. I just have a feeling, just because I feel like the Caitlin Clark thing there, and even Ohtani, there's just like this like incredible amount of publicity and energy around both of those things that happened. Where LeBron, yes, he's one of the greatest to ever play, and Bronny being here is really cool. But I think it's going to be more of a like a smaller group of people are going to be getting it. Where I think the Caitlin Clark and the Ohtani thing appealed to a much wider audience. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a stricter audience that's going to pick it up. They're still printing money. They're still going to sell a crap ton of them, but I think it's going to fall below those two. I think.
Do you think it falls below the Olympic card? The
no,
top two now are the Ohtani and then the Olympic, and the highest Panini Instant was a Caitlin Clark. So
I was way more interested in the Olympic than I would be LeBron and Bronny. And again, like you're talking about one autograph, the chance to get one autograph. I feel like even the individual card itself is not going to be
falling for it though.
That's the thing.
Sure. But I just
like
feel
me buying retail. Wait, that big hit.
I will say my pushback to EP's point is, regardless of, as long as it's a greatest-ish of all time type player, I think it's just the next one will be the next biggest one. Like whoever it is, I don't care who it is. I think it's just going to, the Olympic one was here. I think it's just going to infinite growth with these because people are going to see the potential of the lottery ticket. I think that's more my point with the LeBron thing. Like LeBron's big, the moment's big. There aren't many LeBron rookies or aren't many LeBron autos. All those things plus the constant, hey, this is my turn to get the lottery. Someone already got it. Maybe I'll get it this time. I think there's going to be a lot of that too. So whoever the next big auto is, whatever they do for the next big one, I think that'll be the biggest one at that point. I think it'll constantly just keep going up.
I think there'll be less.
Good, yeah.
Well, there might be less interest in the individual card compared to the previous ones. That's my only thought. Is I feel like the Otani, because it's linked to that 50-50, and the Olympic one because of the three guys for first time being on the card together.
Yeah,
and then the Caitlin Clark, obviously, for all the reasons we talked about a bazillion times with WNBA. And I feel like this one, the individual card. So there's not going to be as many people. They probably will, like you said, Joe. They're going to be trying to get the lottery ticket.
Right.
Oh, yeah. What am I saying?
They are. I understand what you're saying, but my brain the whole time you're saying it is, but people are going to go, but if I get that, I'm going to get like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I'll get 5. Sure. I'll get 5. What the heck? You can throw money at it and just keep trying. People are going to do that. I mean, it is kind of historic to have a father and son playing on the same team in the NBA. I think maybe Bronny himself kind of might temper the excitement on that card, because we're not really expecting. He's not LeBron, so it kind of would have been like if Michael Jordan played with his sons. Just not quite
or played with his son or something like that. I mean. Well, and didn't LeBron and Bronny basically say if any other team drafts him, he won't play in the NBA? Like that was like a thing. That was a threat. That if
I don't know what they did, but it was pretty well known that.
Yeah, he said he was going to go play in the Europe.
He had to play.
Yeah.
Well, it will be interesting. I don't know if the numbers, they might be out by the time the podcast drops, but we will definitely talk about them next week, and I'll compile where it fits in the list, and let me know how many you bought. EP probably bought like 30 of them, just trying to discourage people from competing against him. I know
that's what it is.
Was this our Tops Now update of the week?
Yeah, I mean, it's not even an update. They just keep giving us these that we have to talk about every single week. Okay, well, let's see. Going into this, how about we talk about eBay is launching something called Game Time Gets, a 24-hour basketball auctions. They're going to be linked to professional basketball milestones. I guess WNBA great Candace Parker had helped them curate the list, and basically what it is, every Tuesday night at 8 p.m., they're going to drop auctions that only run for 24 hours. They start at 24 cents, the whole 24-second clock, which really kind of, But what they're going to do, they have a number of milestones picked out that are reachable milestones that players can hit. When the player accomplishes that milestone, the card that they have picked out, which they have different cards picked out from, a lot of different Panini cards and different inserts and parallels and stuff. They're going to take the card that they have selected that represents that milestone, and then that is going to go on auction for 24 hours. It's an interesting idea. I feel like the whole setup and the explanation of it is a little bit complicated at the start. I mean, once you understand it, you're like, oh, okay. But when I was reading the press information that was put out about it, I was like, huh? I don't get it. But they already have the cards picked out. So if Joe Day is going to make it through a podcast without cursing, that milestone card, the Joe Day 1-of-1 card, would go on auction on eBay on a Tuesday night, the following Tuesday night, for 24 hours. That'll never happen, but you get the point.
First one to ever drop the F-bomb on the podcast, right below me. Right below me. Not this guy, that guy. Yeah, Mike, you're right. It is confusing because as you were describing it to me, I felt like Alan from the Hangover, like doing with the numbers. I still don't really know what's going on. Are these cards that eBay own and they're putting for, or did they pick like someone like EP's card and they're like, oh, this is going to be the card.
Owns them.
Okay. See, that's what I'm
not sure about that either. They didn't say these are our cards, but I don't think they're picking other people's cards. I think these are cards they own that they picked for this.
It'd actually be kind of cool if they picked other people's cards and was like, imagine the exposure you would get from us doing this for you, because they get the fee no matter what. I mean, they're going to make out. eBay just doing, regardless if I understand this or not, which I clearly do not, but eBay doing things to be innovative, I like that. And they need to do that because there's so many things that we complain about eBay doing or not doing that they need to stay on their toes. I mean, I know we don't think any company will ever, push back on eBay, but we've talked about it for a long time, how people are starting to get a little upset with what they do. So maybe doing things like this gives them, like, I don't know, some innovative cred, I guess. I don't know. Again, still very confused on this whole process. My cards may be in there somehow. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, pretty sure it's not your card.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said so far. It's a bit of a marketing stretch, right? Like they're really trying to find some way to appeal to basketball collectors. In concept, though, it's a good idea. Like linking these things to milestones. I agree, though, that if they were to take the cards out of the vault and alert the owners, like that'd be a really cool idea. That would generate a lot of interest from the hobby community. Who had these cards that out there, like the chance that gets picked and then goes up there. That's a really good idea. Mike Summer, our buddy, he actually interviewed Candace Parker for this, and Candace Parker, who I think she actually helped to pick out the cards, and she's actually a collector.
She helped curate the collection.
Yep, and she's a collector. Like she and her brothers all collected cards back in the day, and she said when your little sister and your brother's collecting stuff, like you're going to want to do that as well. So, and she ended up being a collector. So it was an interesting interview. Good stuff.
I'm just not really sure what they're trying to accomplish. Like, who's this for? I think is what I'm questioning. Like, maybe I'm just not seeing it, but I'm not understanding who is it for. Is it for basketball card collectors but you might only have like 3 or 4 cards every week? Is it to draw people to their site? Is it to get people used to something that's going to be part of something new that they announce in the future? Like, I really don't know. Like, it seems kind of weird to have, like, say maybe 5 cards that might go on auction the next week. Okay, like, what is that? How is that any different than any other company that's running an auction? And I'm confused by it. If you have thoughts, let us know in the comments, because this one really has me stumped. It's something different. I like to see eBay maybe trying to do something different, but I don't know who the intended audience is and like what they're trying to accomplish by doing this. If there was a way maybe where if a player reached a milestone and you had a certain card of them, like pick 5 cards, and if you have one, you can list them. Everybody can list them in these 24-hour auctions together. That'd be more competition.
And maybe get low fees. Like maybe if you do it in that 24 hours, there's like some sort of incentive for you as a seller.
I mean, you're getting extra juice, extra marketing, like for your product during that time. I do like your thought about it being like a test case type thing, Mike, because I mean you could see them. I didn't think about that at all, but you could see them trying to do that for baseball and for all the other sports and stuff like that too. And soccer. I mean, there's a lot of different opportunities to do that. And I wonder if this is a test case. That's a good thought. I didn't think about that.
Are they becoming a retailer themselves? Like I don't know what this is, and I would like to find out more. What I was able to read about it really didn't tell you a whole lot of the whys behind it. So that would be interesting to know. I mean, I'm nonplussed by it. I'm not a modern basketball card collector, but a lot of people are. But at the same time, if you only have a small handful of cards, I don't know. If you're looking for that card, maybe you get a chance to get it. Does it sell for more and it's only in 24 days? Does it sell for less? I don't know. Like I'm just totally dumbfounded by what the point of it is. I can't work it out in my mind.
And if you're looking for that card and it goes for more, how pissed are you? you didn't get it because it's got all these eyeballs on it. I don't know. It's interesting. Your idea about a test case is probably pretty accurate. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, they don't do things like this just to do them. There's definitely going to be some sort of, additional plan afterwards. But again, as I'm talking about it, as I'm listening to you guys talk about it, I'm still very confused about this whole thing. I don't know where the cards are coming from. I don't know why they're doing it. There's got to be an end game, I would suspect, but hell if I know.
You could see, though, if this does work out for them, like, you could see if somebody scores 60 points in an NBA game, like, that's triggers an automatic 24-hour thing the next day, or somebody scores 3 touchdowns in an NFL game or throws 5 touchdown passes in an NFL game on a Sunday, then they can launch that thing on a Monday and say that, here you go. If I mean, obviously in the future, expand that thing. I could see that really. You can see there's already a lot of interest generated in those cards.
Let me ask you though, who would be, like, whose auctions would they be?
Oh, we don't know that yet, right? Like, that's
that's my question. You're like, yeah, I could see that maybe, like, they have special things going on when events happen, but whose cards? Like, if they're not our cards, who's benefiting from it? If they're only cards that were picked out by a former player and they have a finite number of cards here, like, what's the benefit business wise to them, or what's the benefit to me as a seller on eBay? Like, none. So
right.
Unless there is a way that it can incorporate the people selling having an opportunity to take advantage of those milestones where they're hit, like, I don't really know what the point would be. I'm speechless because I just don't know.
So when Candace Parker curated these cards, did she buy them? Are these Candace Parker's cards?
I'm guessing eBay probably bought them for her. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. They're all new stuff. I don't think she's had these since she was a kid, but I don't know. I mean, maybe more information will come out about it. I thought it was interesting, but I don't understand it. I just don't. Other than 5 people that are going to buy a card on a Wednesday night after it starts on a Tuesday night. Yeah. I don't know.
You sent this out to our group chat. I read it 3 times. I had no clue what you were talking about. Like, that's kind of how I feel about this program. Like, I wish I knew more. I wish eBay gave us more, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I wonder if the vagueness makes it more interesting to us. You know what I mean? Like, we're interested because of the vagueness, and that's what it is. So
I'm not. Like, I'm just dumbfounded. But oh well, maybe at some point they'll have some Victor Wembanyama Topps Mercury cards on there, and maybe they'll be able to get the best ones out of the boxes because maybe they'll send them away to be CT scanned. On Saturday, Sports Card Madness dropped a video claiming that many of the boxes of Topps Mercury were being CT scanned. They had video of a scan of the box. Apparently, it is very easy for them to find the ones that have RPAs in it, and what they're numbered to, and the CT scan. For as little as $600, people can find out if the box they have has anything in it. And we all know what happens when you don't. You sell it on eBay. So first of all, like, they said this too, and let me reiterate, if you're buying boxes of Topps Mercury on eBay, you're an idiot. Do not do it. It's a waste of money. I know none of our viewers are doing it, but the people that are, you're idiots. It's just, you're idiots. They said that the place that is doing the scanning is running 18 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That's EP schedule.
Exactly. Because of the demand that they have. They have already done many, many boxes of Mercury. And I mean, this just, like they mentioned in the video how people like Jeff Wilson want you to think that this isn't an issue, but it just keeps coming up. And if you go watch, if I remember, I will link their video in the description because it's a short video, but you really need to watch it just to see the video of the scan showing up on the screen. And and how well and easily you can see the RPA and what is numbered out of. What is, first of all, what is Topps doing when you're putting a product out at that price point? You know by now this stuff is happening. You can change your packaging to try to keep that from happening, right? Especially on a high-end product. Maybe on a $200 box, it might not be cost worthy to do that, but come on. When you're charging $8,000, do better. It starts there, but like I saw that Backyard Breaks pulled out the Caitlin Clark what is it, gold vinyl autograph out of Select. Everybody was saying about people getting loaded boxes. Maybe it's that they're all getting them CT scanned and they know which ones are out there, which also leads me into the, okay, so how do you know the buyer that had the Caitlin Clark spot wasn't related to Backyard Breaks or whatever breaker that pulls whatever card? We are at a point right now in this hobby where this crap on anything high end is just gonna ruin the hobby. Like at some point, things are gonna just start falling down. How are we going to know that that place isn't going to give out a list of all the people who are using their service? They're looking to expand into other countries. This is growing so big for them. It blows my mind because I didn't think this was an issue. And then I just keep seeing more and more and learning more and more about it. And I'm to the point where I think this is more of an issue than anything I've ever seen in this hobby. Am I wrong?
You're not. And I'll tell you this, kind of poke fun. And the growth that you've had on this issue is great, because when this first came up, kind of poked fun at Ziggy a little bit as kind of a conspiracy theorist. And it turned out Ziggy was right. And it's kind of crazy. It doesn't happen often, but Ziggy was right about this. And we talked about it on the Golden Touch, how they were CTing things. And I didn't have a problem with that because it was just to authenticate things. But people had start seeing stuff like that and like, oh, we can do this. And you say that Jeff Wilson says it's not that big of a problem.
There we go.
Not so fast, my friends. I will tell you. The reason that Jeff Wilson doesn't think it's a problem is because he has a ton of sealed wax. Does he not?
Yeah.
Don't tell me that he's telling people it's not a problem because he doesn't want the value of his sealed wax to be down because people can CT shit. You think I'm joking, EP? You don't think this is serious, EP?
Just that your head doesn't even fit in the frame.
You need to take this more seriously than you are, EP. Stop laughing at this issue. All right. But then, did you like my Lee Corso impression there?
Yep. That was good.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you're right, Mike. This is probably the biggest issue at the high end level of card collecting out there. Like, it's not even close. Like, I don't even know what second would be.
And the biggest issue that most of the general part of the hobby don't even realize is happening.
And I will say that's actually a really good point. They don't know it's happening and it won't affect them. Like, which is good. I don't think it'll affect us either. EP is going to disagree with me.
I don't know that you can say that it's not going to affect them though, because like people will buy an expensive box of something from time to time. You know, maybe it's somebody like us that collects cards, decide, you know, that Mercury Wembanyama stuff looks kind of cool. Like maybe they have card money, maybe not that high of a product, but maybe something costs a couple $1,000. Yeah. But you know, at some level, it will be affecting everybody.
Well, yeah, it could trickle down to now people are just scanning score because it's so cheap to do it, and why not, right? I mean, if there's a rookie auto in there that people want, maybe it could filter down. I don't think anyone that watches us is dabbling in that flawless Mercury kind of world. So if you're
breaks though, and buying into breaks for a product where they're never going to hit what they're buying in for. Maybe somebody's paying $200 or $300 for a spot in something, thinking they have a chance to get something good that they have no chance to get. Like, that's what I think, that it permeates down into the hobby more than you realize that it can, just from the stuff at the top doing it, and the games that the people at the top can play, and the way they can manipulate things by knowing what is or isn't in what they're selling.
I was talking specifically about our viewers. Like you said at the top of this, Mike, I don't think people that watch us are buying Mercury, right? I don't even think they're buying into breaks of Mercury. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you have, I'd be very interested. But like, I don't think, like, the people that buy singles, that's why I stick to singles. And you made a really good point. Your best point of this whole thing was, don't buy loose boxes on eBay. Like, that's a rule across any product. I don't care what it is. Loose boxes on eBay, whether they've been CT scanned or weighed, or the case it was already pulled out of another box that they ripped and they put the leftovers up there, it is a dangerous game. If you're going into it trying to hit something, assume you're not. Buy them straight from the distributor. Buy them straight from the company. Don't buy them from eBay, because that takes scamming. eBay scams to a whole new level, sellers on eBay. So yes, be cognizant of that.
When this topic first started, like my head was spinning. Like, there was so many thoughts rolling in my head. It was like, I didn't even know what to write down. But then as you guys were talking, I wrote down a handful of things here, and I'll let you guys like go back and forth quite a bit. Mike's talked about a particular breaker pulling a really big Caitlin Clark card. And my immediate thought when the scanning thing happened was, how many breakers were already doing this? How many breakers were already using this scanning service?
Many. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I
mean, especially as inexpensive as it is. And I mean, $600 is not chump change to me and to a lot of people that watch us, I'm sure. But if you're talking about dealing in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of product, $600 is chump change. And if you can, especially if you can pull a $10,000 card out of it, you know what I mean? So I think that's a big deal. Next thing I wrote down was, you only need to change one letter twice to change scanners into scammers. And so that's what that's where we are right now. Like, if people can scam, they're gonna scam, right? Like, and this is just the next level of it. And there are probably,
that's a t-shirt. I think that might be a t-shirt.
There are people out there, I'm sure, who are they're telling themselves, oh, this is okay because of X, Y, and Z, but it's not. Like, this is like, if you take those boxes that you scan and you sell them, we've said it before, that's fraud. That's fraudulent. You're selling stuff that you know is not what it should be. And then the last part is, we kind of go, I guess I went back and forth quite a bit about, is I think that, like, I'm not sure if Mike was hinting at it, or if he was going another direction, but like, the saying is that crap flows downhill, right? So if they can't sell the $8,000 boxes, and these higher end stuff, eventually that's going to get to the point where they're not going to be selling cards at all. Like it could hurt the overall market, because that's where their bread and butter, that's where they're making all their money right now. And if they can't sell their stuff, the big stuff to breakers, and then if something happens there, that's going to hurt the hobby considerably, I would think, if they drive Fanatics out, or something like that.
Unfortunately, Fanatics is going to keep making their money. Panini's still going to keep making their money, because even though they do nothing about this and don't take it seriously yet, they're still selling the product, because the people want to get the product so they can scan it to see what's in it, and then scam the people out of it. So people are dumb in this hobby. People will get punched in the face and go walk up and stand there and get punched in the face over and over and over again. Unfortunately, I hate to be that way, but it happens all the time. How many things have we seen where we're like, well, maybe nothing ever makes a difference, because you think, well, not me. That happens to other people, but not me. My breaker's not searching these boxes and getting them scanned and sent, I'm not in breaks where there's a ringer there that has the high end stuff, and it's just all going to be kept by the breaker, or it's a high-end person, a big breaker that works with somebody, and they have a customer who spends a lot of money with them and gives them a little more under the table, and they get those spots and they get the good cards when they're in there. Like, none of that stuff's ever going to happen to me, and that's not going to have any impact on me, but it eventually does. But the people at the top are still making their money on it. And it's all the people who don't have the money that end up getting screwed in it. The person who, the kid that saves up his money to buy an $800 hobby box of, select WNBA.
Killed to be able to do
and
that.
Doesn't get a Caitlin Clark because they know where they are, or somebody who buys into a break this one time. They just want to do it, and they get a big team spot, or they buy into like a serial number spot thinking they have a chance when they don't. It'll impact people, I think, more than we realize it does. Yeah, if you're just going out and buying Topps base, it's probably not going to impact you yet.
I was going to say, for now, as the prices will come down on this service, right? I mean, they're going to, it's going to be a PSA situation where they're like, okay, for this level of product, it's this amount of money. For this level of product, it's this amount of money, and on and on and on. Oh, if we find this like one of one, then we're going to upcharge you. Like, I'm waiting for this to get scaled. Like, wait for that to happen. And advice to that kid who saved up money for $800 to buy something: just buy singles, dude. Learn your lesson as a kid now. Buy singles.
We don't know that distributors aren't, doing stuff with the boxes
or also
they're selling
too.
Yeah, right. I don't know anything that's I don't know if they can look in a sealed case and find anything out of it yet. There's so much stuff that's being hidden about it and when the information comes out, people don't believe you. I didn't believe it. It took me a while, but I'm not going to say this is what it is and then just act like I'm right the whole time. When I'm presented with evidence over and over to the contrary of what I thought, I'm smart enough to go, well, I was wrong. I'm interested in this now, and I am understanding it now. But I just, all the ways that people can screw people out of money. This is like the most bold, because where do we go from here? If this service gets bigger and bigger, everybody knows who has what that's good, and all that other crap is no good. What's it going to do to the hobby? What's going to happen to the hobby when the high end crashes because everybody is able to pick out the good cards? Nobody's going to be paying $8,000 for a Mercury box if everybody knows that has nothing in it. They're going to pay $100 for it. So what happens? People are so short-sighted and trying to make money now any way they can in this damn hobby that they don't think about tomorrow or next week or 2 weeks after or 2 years down the road. I run stack sales. I try to do good by my customers so I have more customers. So a year from now, hopefully I have more people buying more cards from me than I do today. But that's not how a lot of people in this hobby work. Oh, how can I make as much money as I can now? And I won't be able to make any money a year from now, but I'll make my, $5,000 now, and I'm happy, even though I could have made $150,000 by just being a good person and doing the right thing. But this hobby is just filled with mooches that just want to take and take and take and don't care. I'm ranting. I'm sorry. It was a good rant, but it was a fine rant.
You didn't have a big hat on. You really need a big hat to really hammer home a good rant.
The ponytail, it's really hard.
It doesn't work with the ponytail. No, I don't disagree with anything.
A visor? I could put a visor on.
That's when we play golf.
It would need to be a really
visor.
big visor,
it would have to be.
No, I don't wear my ponytail through the back of my hat.
Yeah, that's never a good look. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, people will find a way to scam other people. We've talked about this since probably episode 1, to be honest. My point, though, at this point is it's on Fanatics. Like, you are going to be the industry leader. You have to find a way to make it right. My thing is, if finding a way to make it right costs them more money and they don't make as much profit on selling the stuff, are they going to? I don't think they will, because they're all about just the bottom line. And if making those boxes secure from being CT scanned, which I don't know how you do that personally, but if making the boxes secure costs them a percentage point of profit, I don't think they do it. because they don't care. And as much as I know a lot of people love Fanatics, and I'm not going to point any fingers, I know a lot of people love Fanatics. They are, if they're going to be the industry leader, they need to take a step forward on this and say, hey, this is going on. This is what we're going to do to stop it, at least with our high-end products, assuming that it doesn't trickle all the way down to flagship, for example. But they need to come out and do something. Panini, they're halfway out the door. They don't give a crap. And no one's going to be CT scanning their stuff because it's going to be retired players. And it's not going to have the hot new RPA that's officially licensed and yada, yada, yada. So yeah, Fanatics needs to lead the charge on this.
Yeah, Mike, your take about taking care of customers. Like I had a little bit of a rant at the beginning of the show, but at the end of the day, with a buyer. But at the end of the day, I did refund him. I double checked my inventory to make sure the car wasn't there, and I refunded him. And was professional in my interactions with them. Like you said, Mike, that is a business perspective. That is actually caring about your customers, as opposed to a lot of the people in the hobby, like you said, that have the money grab perspective. And unfortunately, it seems like, I mean, it doesn't seem like the people at the very, very top that are making the cards have that perspective that isn't, there's like an ultra business perspective to the point where it's almost the scamming perspective. And then the last point I want to make is everybody in this hobby, everybody watching this right now, share with all your friends, go check out one of these videos where they show you what happens when they do these scans. Like Mike said, you can literally see, I was the same way where I didn't really believe it was a problem until I saw like actual still images and videos of it being scanned. It is insane the amount of detail they can see on these cards when just running through the scan. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, the Sports Card Madness video, like you can clearly see, you can even kind of make out that like the patch, if it's two color in it, which surprised me. I'm not even sure how, but you could clearly see the autograph and the number and kind of like a little bit of the image of the card. So you could kind of tell which ones were which card. It crazy. But yeah, the numbers clear as day. Clear as day, you can see the numbers.
We always thought that noise behind EP was like cars racing down the street. I think he has a CT scanner in the back, and that's the noise where he's scanning stuff. Let us. EP,
I only charge $400 a box. Shh.
Oh, EP, gotta let us in on this. This scam. Come on, this scan.
Go on a YouTube podcast, put a bunch of junk wax behind you, make some videos about how you love 1990 Upper Deck baseball. Nobody's ever gonna suspect that you're the one that's doing this.
Yep, that's exactly what's happening. Yep.
Well, speaking of scammers, not the sports car dad, but Josh
Luber. Is Joe eating olives on the podcast throwing you off? Because it did me for a second.
What are you doing?
It's a Bloody Mary. I have olives. What are we talking about here?
Okay. Well, Dustin, the sports car dad, had a great video out, and he got a little edgy, and I loved it. It was good. He was calling out Josh Luber. Remember Josh Luber? We all remember Josh Luber, right?
Try to forget him.
What was the name of the video, the documentary that we watched? He was a very big part of that.
The Hobby.
The Hobby. That's what it was called. Why would I ever remember that? Still trying to get the Luca card out of Prism.
Yeah.
But, he was supposed to be the head of Fanatics, like non-sports division or whatever it was called. I forget. But he is now making a line of toys. Let's call them, generously, we'll call them action figures. I don't know. They're toy figures. I don't know what to call them.
I think calling them toys is pretty generous.
Yeah, it is too. But apparently, I guess the company is called Ghost Right, and the characters apparently are ghosts, which they don't have a background, but ghosts can tell their own story and be what they want to be or something. I don't know. I actually read an article about it, and I understood it less than before I read the article. One of those articles that were done like, yeah, I totally get this. And they're writing all these words that as the reader, you're reading them. You're like, I don't know what that means, but maybe I'm old. I am old. So that's probably it. But
much better.
let me just get to the bottom of this. The gist is he's making these little toy figures and he's limiting them, and they're only going to be done like 5 on this one or 10 on this one or 25 on this one. Basically, what I'm going to say is making something to create something that you're going to make people think is collectible and has a lot of value, to make them pay a lot of money when you know damn well at the end of the day they're never going to be worth money, but you're going to get your money out of it because you're one of those people at the top of the food chain in the hobby, and you're going to just, you know, use your name and your place in the hobby to sell people stupid little toys that are super limited so you can make a ton of money off it and they can lose a ton of money off it. Am I wrong? What is going on here?
Yeah, sorry, I swallowed a pepper. All right, I'm good. That's Bloody Mary, man. They get vicious there at the end. So I completely agree with everything you just said, but the question I have is, how is this any different than cards? How is this any different than
or pop figures like I have back here?
No, I think it's the pop figures are just
even more blatant. That's because
I don't know if it is, because what are we chasing? We're chasing the out of 5. We're chasing the out of 10. We're chasing the tie-dye. We're chasing this. We're chasing that.
At least you're chasing an actual person who has a picture on a card that's an actual player instead of a ghost that can tell its own story. There is a little plastic figure. They look like those Playmobil toys that
No, they look terrible.
Yeah, they look like those. And what in the hell are these things supposed to be? By the way, and why are they supposed to be worth a lot of money? You can't just, you can't go out in your yard and get a pile of dog crap and put it into a bag and go, look, there are only 4 of these, only 4 in the world. And
have you not been watching Panini Breaks? Have you not been watching Panini Breaks? You're pretty much describing that. No, I don't love these toys at all, and I think they're terrible. And I think, but manufacturing
dumb scarcity, as a toy. They're dumb.
Yes. Well, no, toys aren't toys anymore. I know you guys are older. Toys aren't toys anymore. Toys are for adults. Kids play on their computers.
But it's still
toys are for adults. Oh, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that's what's being made here. They're being made by manufactured scarcity, which is exactly what cards are. He took what he did in cards and he's transferring it to stupid action figures. He's not the only one either. I sent you guys whatever they're fucking called. He's doing the same thing. I sent you guys a text. This was a few months ago at this point, where McFarlane was selling NFTs to action figures, and they were numbered and limited. This is where we're at. This is just, when I watched the Sports Card Dad, I completely agreed with 1,000% of what he said. And then I thought, but this is where we are. I'm annoyed with it, but this is where we are, where you make bullshit, fake stuff, number it, and say it's limited. That's just kind of where we're at in collecting now. Manufactured scarcity. Why is the 52 Mantle worth so much? Because they're hard to get in a high grade. They're just hard to find, period. Cards today are not, so they have to slap numbers on them. Same thing with these toys. It's stupid, but this is what people, it would not shock me if people buy these, which again says more about us as a society. Needs to find
like 5 or 10 people to buy them. So
there's probably an out of 5 that's one color, and then an out of 5 that's a slightly different color, then an out of 10 that's the same as the out of 5 color. I mean, there's literally a million of them, but they're all numbered to 5 and 10. It's like watching a leaf break.
The thing, like, he got the capital for this. Like, they looked at his credentials. They said, okay, well, he's got an idea to make some money. I don't think the figures, they don't appeal to me in any way, like their design and the story, that sort of stuff. When we collected action figures, it was because we watched the He-Man cartoon, because we watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, the G.I. Joe cartoons. There's marketing behind that, and he's going to have marketing behind it, but it was a different thing for us. All of that said, the bottom line is, this is just more of the gambling. People are going to buy that because they think 10 years from now it's going to be worth, this of 5 is going to be worth a certain amount of money, and like Mike said, it's not going to be worth that money in 10 years. It's a very much a cash grab, in my opinion.
Very little is
clearly
worth
is.
that money in 10 years. Very little of this type of look at Beanie Babies. Very little of this stuff is worth money years later. But again, you get your money right up front. So what's it matter?
Right.
But
If you're Josh
that's
Luber.
my problem with it.
Mhm.
This is, Josh Luber. He can do it because he's Josh Luber and people buy it. If I make this toy figure line exactly the same way, nobody's gonna buy it. So like,
I'd
it's
buy one too,
people.
Mike.
It's people that have achieved a certain status in the hobby that are grifting the people of the hobby and doing this stuff to profit off of it, knowing that these aren't going to have long-term value. They're not. He knows that. Like, there's no way that he doesn't know that. But because he's who he is, he can do that. You're Gary V, you can make your V friends thing and get out of the hobby altogether and not talk about sports
He's
cards.
still in the hobby.
I had a little bit of the back and forth last week in the comments, but I'm sorry. He a lot of people that were given credit for, he knew that cards were going to go up. Did you know that the pandemic was going to happen and everybody was going to get a lot of money? That is what made the hobby go up like it did. I don't know that people get credit for that, but if people are really so knowledgeable, like if Gary Vee was knowledgeable about this hobby, he would have told people it's then going to go down, but he didn't. Where are his videos talking about, okay, I think it's a good time to get rid of our collections because in 6 months, this stuff is not going to be worth what it's worth. He didn't do that. He got in, he pumped stuff up, he made money, and he got out. Josh Luber can make himself whatever he is, create StockX, sell that, get money, then people think you're a genius because you have one win and everything you're going to do turns to gold. So you can make dumb little action figures and rip people off with them. We can't do it because we're not at the right level in the hobby, but this is where the hobby is. That is ridiculous. The people that made our names that are looked at like they're so smart when they're really just trying to take money from you, and people still defend them. There will probably be people yelling at me in the comments about my comments about Josh Luber and telling me how I'm wrong and dumb. But if I live long enough to see these things not be worth money, whoever's left, make sure you put a video up saying, haha, I told you so.
No, EP is going to be the one. He since he doesn't watch the video, he'll just comment saying that you're dumb for saying anything bad about Josh Luber. Yeah. I joke. Yeah, I mean, they're grifters. I think we're all in agreement there. I mean, it's weird that people aren't. I mean, I guess in our world today, people don't notice they're being grifted, but it's happening, and it happens in the hobby way more than it should. And people just have this like amnesia every time something new comes out. It's like, oh, well, this isn't the one that's a grift. It's all a grift. Ripping wax is a grift. Going and buying the tops now, that's a grift. I mean, it's all buying toys numbered to 5, buying toys that are NFTs, buying NFTs in general. Like, it's all a grift. I just be.
How can we sell something worthless to people that can make us make a lot of money? That's what
at the end of the day, you just have to be vigilant because no one else is going to be vigilant for you. As a buyer, you have to be a vigilant buyer. You have to be smart about what you're doing, and you have to kind of see through the crap, like stuff like this. And it is crap. Mike and I went back and forth about whether or not it's different or the same as cards. Even if it is completely different, cards still have that aspect of it too. So just be careful as a buyer. Don't make mistakes that just people can just keep sucking your money out of you like nothing.
That's a great point, Joe. Like, for as much as the people at the top are the issue, excuse me, most of the people at the top are the issue. The grifters exist because people buy their stuff, right? So I mean, the buyers just need to really, you have to try to figure out what is the crap and what isn't, and do a better job.
It's not easy. It's not easy anymore.
Yeah, definitely not. Like, I hate to put it on them because the real problem are the grifters, but they exist because of people buying their stuff.
Well, it's never going to happen. And as evidence of that, I'm going to give you our weekly WNBA select pricing update. So hobby boxes have hit the market. The regular hobby boxes, not first off the line, are selling on eBay for $800 to $900 a box. $800 to $900 a box. But that's not all the information I have.
But there's more.
Blaster boxes are pre-selling on eBay for $75 to $80 a box.
What?
I know what you're buying for the next video of your series.
If I can get it from Target or Walmart at regular price, I will. Yeah. We got to talk about the base rookie cards and the sales on eBay. Let's just take a regular, not one of the higher levels, select base rookie card, even, the insert rookie cards that you get. What do you think they're selling for on eBay? The one you get bunch of.
Yeah, this feels like a little bit of a trap. $20.
I was going to say 15 to 20. So I'm
going to say 5.
No.
Get out of here.
$100
for the base rookie card.
$100. There have been multiple
in a PSA 12
raw base rookie cards and inserts selling for $100. Don't be that person.
No.
Don't. These are.
If you have them, sell them now. If you have any of them and you pull them, sell them now.
It may even be too late by the time you watch this podcast to get that price. But yes, there have been sales. The first one's listed. Bunch of sales too. $100. Oh my gosh.
I think my grandfather might have bought one.
I was afraid it was going to be high with 20. I thought it was like probably $5, but maybe 20. That's wild.
So, hey, we complain all the time. They charge all this for the boxes and you don't get anything worth anything out of them. Clearly, this is the one product that's different, right? Because you get $100 for a base rookie.
Yeah, it'll never change. And I'm curious because Select is known for their levels. I suspect they have levels in this. Mm-hmm. So there's probably 5 base Caitlin Clark rookie cards.
Yeah, easily. Or insert.
Plus the inserts. Not even I'm not even counting them. There's probably 5
selling for close to $100.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Hopefully, by the time this video drops, that has changed. Hopefully, but yeah, that's where we.
What's crazy though, Mike? If you're telling me that the boxes cost $800 and 8 Caitlin Clark rookie cards or Caitlin Clark rookie cards are going for $100, that's 8 Caitlin Clark rookie cards equals a box. I'm thinking the value of the 8 Caitlin Clark rookie cards are probably better than the box. Like even when they drop and are down to $15, you might get more out of than you would by buying a box itself. Let's be fair here. This is Caitlin. There are a lot of great players in the WNBA. Like I said before, don't lie to me and say you've been watching it for years. You haven't.
That's
Royal you. Yeah. Don't lie. Don't you dare lie to me. But this is a Caitlin Clark product. So I'm curious. Again, I uncharacteristically did not watch breaks. I'd like to see. Anthony Richardson was in a lot of Panini products this year. Like I think they printed extra Anthony Richardson because he was the only one they had. Probably why he got ticked off and made his little AR because he was the only one that had to sign that anyone cared about at the time. I wonder if Caitlin Clark's the same way. Like you open up a box and you're getting like 3 or 4 of her cards to make up for the fact that this is an $800 a box, right? I'm curious how that would shake out.
I'm willing to bet you probably get between all of the inserts and the different levels and stuff. You'd probably get like 2 Caitlin Clark cards per box, maybe. I don't know how many cards are in a select box. I'm even thinking of maybe I'm being too generous there. But my question to you guys is, what do you guys think the actual price should be? She's going to be higher than a lot of other rookie cards just because of everything surrounding her.
Of the box or of her
rookie card, her base rookie card. What do you think the base rookie card price is going to end up settling at after this initial buzz?
10 to 15.
Okay.
I was originally going to say that, and I'm like, they're going to make a lot of products of her. Like they're gonna really. It'll be 2025. They'll still be making rookie products of her. I wouldn't be surprised if you can find them in $5 boxes in a year and a half.
Right. I was just wondering, like, when do we tell people to buy? Like, when should people be
A year?
spending money? A year? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait at least a year.
Yeah, wait at least a month.
Don't buy them for $100.
Yeah, don't do that. That's the best investment advice we can give you today. Do not buy Caitlin Clark rookies at $100.
Buy 1,000 of them and send them all into PSA to get graded, and you'll probably make a lot of money on them.
And make sure you buy the very first PSA 10 that comes out. You want to buy that one for sure.
I was just gonna ask, how much do you think the first PSA 10 of her base rookie to hit eBay will go for? $500? $1,000?
Four figures. Yep, $1,000. Four figures. Yep.
Wow.
I think so.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'd be surprised if it doesn't, but yeah. Oh, wow. All right. Well, I think we've said enough this week. A pretty good chat this week, and I will see you next week. Take care, guys.
Yeah, boys.
Adios.